school can be very overwhelming, especially for new teachers. You're learning a lot and at a fast, rapid pace. During the survival phase, most new teachers really struggle to keep their heads above water. They become focused and consumed on the day-to-day routine of teaching. There's little time to stop and reflect on your experiences. It's not uncommon for new teachers to spend up to 70 hours a week on schoolwork. Many new teachers, still uncertain of what really works, are still developing lessons for the first time, hoping that this new thing will stick and work out well. Although tired and surprised by the amount of work, first-year teachers usually maintain a tremendous amount of energy and commitment during the survival phase, harboring hope that the chaos will soon subside. In this episode, we are focusing on self-care and balancing personal life and work life. Hopefully, the tips we share in this episode will bring you some peace and encouragement. Remember to take time to take care of you.
I love painting, so I think it's very relaxing. So I like to blend directly on the canvas, and I like cleaning, like adding a little water. You kind of touch the water to make the paint flow.
Miss G, I have had a week. I am so stressed out. I have all this stuff coming up. I have things that are due, and I have all these teachers I'm trying to support, and we have so much going on, and I just really don't know what to do.
You've got to learn to relax, Jenny. You've got to get a hobby of some kind and start painting.
Girl, I ain't got time for a hobby.
You have to make time for things like that. You have to spread paint around. It helps you relax and makes life good.
That looks so peaceful.
It does. You want to try?
I don't want to mess up your painting.
Well, paint goes on in layers, and if you mess up a painting, all you have to do is paint over it.
Well, no, that sounds pretty good.
So here, try some orange. We're doing some pumpkins. Try some orange and try that out.
Thank you.
I need a fan. See how calming that is?
It really is kind of calming.
Okay, get you a little bit of red and orange together and blend right on your canvas.
Let me mix these up.
Just dip it in there, Yep, a little together. Now go to your canvas.
I don't even let my kids mix their Play-Doh.
Well, this is paint. This is different. All better?
A little bit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're here today with Miss G and her mentee, one of her mentees here, and just tell us, what are some tips that you have for self-care?
Well, I think doing hobbies is very important, things you enjoy. I know one of the things I do sometimes is I have to set a timer. I set a timer and say, okay, I have things I need to grade. I'm going to grade for an hour. And then once that hour is up, then I'll walk away from it and do things that I need to do for myself or for my home or something like that. So I think those boundaries are important.
Do you have anything that you like to do for your self-care?
For me, I like to read. It really eases my mind, especially if a lot of chaos around me is going on. It just calms me down.
Sure. Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
This is the painting that we're going to do. It's a pumpkin painting. And so you need a few basic things to start out with to get it done. You need a canvas, which I'm using a 12 by 16 canvas today. And as you can see, I've drawn it out and already started painting on it. And then there's a few basic shades of paint you need: red, orange, blue, green, yellow. And I call these my neutrals, white, black, brown. This is a very important color no matter what you're painting. It's called yellow ochre. It's a color you can blend with other colors to mix together. And this color here is called burnt sienna. It's also another color that you can use to blend with. So it's a common misconception that to make red darker, you add black. You can add black because that makes maroon, but you can also add the color that's opposite on the color wheel, which would be green, to make red darker, or you can add the burnt sienna to it as well. So, but these are the colors we're going to use. And then you always have to have a paint cup, a cup of water, preferably clean water. And then you start painting, you kind of tap your brush on the side, and then you got to have a paper towel over here to get some of the water out. And then you go directly to the paint and start applying paint. If the paint is dragging across the surface, what you have to do, I call it getting a bite of water. And it's where you have your paint cup close to you and you just barely touch the surface of the water. and then you like start spreading it around. Then when you're ready to change colors, I call it banging out your brush. You got to make sure you put it in the water and clean it out really well and get the excess water out, and then touch your next color that you want to use and apply it to your paint surface. And then you just keep working the colors together. So if I was going to make the dark orange, I'm going to get a little bit of orange, a little bit of red, and I'm going to mix those colors directly on the surface. Then I'm going to get a little bit of the burnt sienna color and mix that in as well. And then just keep getting like a touch of water to help blend my paint together there. I like all types of brushes. Of course, for big areas, you want to use a wider brush. For smaller areas, small brushes. Any size brush will work because you can like stand it up on the edge to get edges if you're really good. But if you're not good with edges and smaller things, you definitely need smaller brushes. So I just buy these inexpensive brushes from like Hobby Lobby or Walmart. You can get a set of 100 of these off of Amazon for $20, and they're great. You just keep them in water and wash them out when you're done. And usually when I wash them out, when I'm done, I clean them out with just water, dry them out, and then reshape them, and then just stand them upright so then they dry well like that.
At the end of this episode, you'll have a chance to register to win all the materials needed to paint this beautiful picture of the pumpkin. So you'll have an art set of your own, and you can maybe find your hidden talent.
All right, the last few books that I've read that I really enjoyed, one was surprising, was The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That one was great, had a great setup, wasn't expecting it, loved it. I also love historical fiction, so I just recently read The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Heartbreaking, they always are when it's World War II, Holocaust, but it was really a good read. And one that's not usually one of my standard kind of genres, but The Husband's Secret was interesting and a quick read. So those are three that I read lately that I would recommend.
The Hush Hush series.
The Bible.
All right, the name of the book is The Serpent and the Rainbow.
I just read a book called The Hate You Give.
The last book I've read recently is Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. It's a cyberpunk book. It's funny. It's really good.
Okay, They Never Learn is the book that I'm reading, and it's by Lane Fargo.
Over fall break, I read The Butcher and the Wren by Elena Urquhart, and she is a podcaster that does true crime, and she wrote a true crime thriller, and it was a really good book, and highly recommend.
How to Think Bigger.
Welcome to yoga this afternoon. Just start to settle into your space, relaxing through your shoulders. And then from here, just start to make your way up into a standing position. Bringing your feet to the top of your mat, leaving a little bit of space in between your feet. Good. This next breath, take an inhale, lifting your shoulders up. And then on your exhale, just let your shoulders roll back and down. Good. And now from here, before we start any yoga poses, we're going to set an intention for ourselves, something that's near and dear to our heart, and just kind of let go of our day. I need that, Miss Gallagher. I need to let go of my day. We all usually do. We do. How can yoga help me do that? Yoga is just a time for yourself. If nothing else, it is 30 minutes to an hour of time on your mat, no phones, no lists, no responsibilities, just focusing on you. What about with my family? Is there a way to incorporate that with my daughters? How old are they? 5 and 10. Perfect. There are tons of yoga programs online. One near and dear to my heart is Cosmic Kids Yoga. Oh. It actually tells a story that the girls will be very familiar with. Frozen, Pokemon. Oh, cool. And through the story, Jamie, who is the instructor, does yoga poses to go along with the story. Oh, that's really nice. And it is on YouTube, and I will send you the link. Please do. I will have to check that out. I will. Do you want to practice with me today? I would love to. Thank you. Sure. Great. Welcome, Ellie. Welcome, Jetty. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. So as we start, just start to settle into your space. You can sit, make sure that both of your sits bones are equally distributed on the mat. So give yourself a little wiggle.
Good, so just make sure your butt's all the way down on the mat. Good. And you can sit crisscross applesauce like you are, or you can bring one foot up, rest it, however you're most comfortable. If you're not comfortable like this, you can also sit like a butterfly. Okay, and just relax. Good. So from here, just relax your shoulders down. We hold so much tension and stress in our shoulders, so just relax them. Start to soften your belly. Don't bring anything in or up. Don't suck anything in, just relax. Good. Bring your hands to your knees. Good. Rest your shoulders again. And again, bring attention to your jaw. And just make sure that you're not clenching your teeth.
Can we stand up?
You can bring one hand to your heart and the other hand to your belly. And take this time now to take the focus off of your body and just focus on your mind, your heart, and your soul. Think about today one thing that you are grateful for. Okay. So just bring yourself to the front of your mat. Good. And just start by bringing your big toes towards one another, leaving a little bit of space, your heels. Start to relax your knees so that you're standing in a comfortable position. And now start to bring everything in and up. Good. Relax your shoulders. Take an inhale, raise both arms up. And then on your exhale, bring both arms down. Good. This time, reach up in your inhale, bringing your gaze up to the ceiling too. And then on your exhale, start to bring your left arm forward, your right arm back, and just twist to your right, relaxing your shoulders. Good. Start to bring your abdomen in and up. Good. Inhale, brings both arms back up and your torso to center. Relax. Release down. Good. Take a second. Roll your shoulders out. Inhale again. Arms come up. Gaze comes up. And then on your exhale, other side. Right arm goes out. Left arm goes to the back and twist. Relax your shoulders. Draw your shoulders down. Abdomen in and up. And one side may feel totally different than the other. That's normal. And on your next inhale, bring both arms up. And on your exhale, bring both arms down. Okay. From here, take your right leg and just bend into your right knee just a little bit. Good. Start to take your hands to your hips and make sure that your torso is still facing forward. And make sure that your knee is not coming forward. Just track it back a little bit. Good. Bring both arms out. Inhale. Exhale, relax your shoulders. Inhale, straighten out that right leg. Bring your hands down to your hips. Turn your right foot back. Turn left foot toward the door. Good again. Just starting to lunge into that left side this time. Inhale, both arms out. Relax through your shoulders. And just start to sit into your left hip. We hold a lot of tension in our hips as well. Good. Relax your shoulders. And inhale, start to bring yourself up and your hands to your hips. And then turn both feet back. Good. Inhale, arms up. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you.
We are at South Christian with Miss Gallagher today, focusing on self-care tips. And today she has showed us some yoga poses that how we can let go of the daily stresses and focus on our breathing and ourselves for a few minutes a day. Miss Gallagher, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started with yoga?
I'm Jennifer Gallagher. This is my 23rd year teaching. This is my first year at South Christian, though. I'm a 6th grade math teacher. I began teaching yoga when I had a stroke at 37, and my doctor recommended yoga, hot yoga. And I was skeptical because it's very hot.
Yes.
But ended up taking a class in March and then went for my teacher training in July of that same year.
Oh, wow.
So this is my 8th year teaching yoga. Yes, and it has helped me with not only the physical part of what I suffered from my stroke, but also the mental part.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned to you, it's, if nothing else, it's an hour on your mat for yourself, just kind of letting go of the day, or if you begin your day with yoga, it's a great way to start your day.
I appreciate you sharing that. It's just the few minutes that I had with you. I feel calmer and better. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Do you have any tips for teachers in balancing that scheduling, squeezing in time during the day?
Sometimes even during my planning or even with my students, when they come in, we may not do a full yoga flow, but we will do some breathing. They are just as stressed as we are sometimes. So we'll take a minute and we will kind of just assess our day and just take a breath and start again. So just breathing and focusing on your breathing is so important, because a lot of times you don't realize it, but you are holding your breath. So
It's a little scary.
yeah. There are great resources out there, as with everything. For yoga, there are lots of beginner yoga videos or classes that you can even take. And just making sure to listen to your body. If someone or you're watching something, they go into a pose and your body is telling you, maybe not, listen to it. Focus on what your body is telling you at all times and just breathe.
Just breathe. Just breathe.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time and sharing your passion and gift with us today.
Thank
I really
you.
do appreciate it.
I enjoyed this very much. Thank you.
And we will be back right after this break.
Woodworking. Go to the gym.
How about playing golf?
Baking. Antique hunting. Walking.
Swimming.
I play with my dogs, Comet and Vixen and Dasher.
Walking.
Taking a nap.
All right, finally got a break. Ready to go out, hit the water, spend some time catching some fish. It's a beautiful day outside. We'll have a good time.
Hey, can I come along?
Absolutely, I don't see why not. I got an open seat.
Nice. We're here today with Mitchell Fort from Hopkinsville High School. Mitchell, tell us why you like going out on the boat. What does fishing do for you?
Fishing gives me a chance to just relax, enjoy my time being outside. Just a mental break,
Yeah.
That's a big part of it, huge part of it. Then the excitement is there too, chasing after fish. It's been a lifetime thing. You just got to go and try to make sure you're figuring out something. That's a big part of it.
Good. It's a real peaceful time alone too. I feel like.
Definitely that.
Okay. What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
I have caught some 15, 20-pound catfish, but the main species we go after bass. Being a bass angler and a tournament fisherman, I have caught a few bass that were 8+ pounds. Around that 8 to 9 pound range, which is significant for our area.
Yeah. So, do you have to have a fishing license to be able to go fishing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where do you
gotta
get that?
Have your fishing license. Go out to around here. You can go to Walmart, but the quickest, most convenient way is get online. Go to Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife. They have a website, and you can hop on there and get any kind of license you need.
Just print it off?
Fishing, whatever.
Yeah.
Just print
Cool.
it right off. Fill it out.
What about driving a boat? Do you have to have a special license for that?
If you are under the age of 12 years old, you have to have what they call a boater education card if you operate any watercraft alone.
Okay.
If you're over the age of 12 to 18, I think you're still supposed to have that boater education. Any adults can drive a boat. Anybody with a license can drive a boat.
Cool. Can you rent a boat? What if I don't have one? I want to go fishing. There are places I can do that too.
You can rent a boat, or if you don't have a boat and you want to go fishing, a real safe way to get out on the water is to hire a guide.
Okay.
I got fishing trips, and there's lots of other people that guide fishing trips, and you might pay the same money that you pay to rent a boat, but you got somebody that's going to take you around, keep you safe on the water.
Bait the hook and take that fish off, because I don't touch those
Most
slimy
guides
fish.
will do that. Yes, I do that for a lot of clients.
Yeah.
And some of them, hey, can you put me put me some bait on there?
Yeah.
Can you take this one off?
I'll do a night crawler, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe a cricket.
Well, I try to use lures for the most part myself, be honest with you. I use live bait here and there, but for the most part, I like to try to stick to lures.
lures.
Keep from baiting up hooks.
Yeah, saves you some time too. So what is the difference in the lures?
Well, right now, you have on what we call a jerk bait.
Okay. What's it good for?
It's a hard bait. It's good to imitate bait fish being out in the water column.
Okay.
So it's one of those lures you throw when you know you're around bait.
Okay.
Kind of the same thing here, where I have a swim jig. A lot of times these are lures that we use to imitate bait. Here in the fall of the year, it's important that you chase the bait because that's what the bass are chasing, you know?
Oh, that makes sense.
So we want to make sure we throw in something that imitates the bait fish that are in this body of water.
So what about, like, right now the lakes are kind of low? Do you go to Kentucky Lake, Barkley Lake? What do you do differently when the water's so low?
So I fish Kentucky and Barkley a lot. And then we get to this time of the year where the fall drawdown is happening. Well, it's already really happened. We're at the lowest kind of point of the year. A lot of times what I'll do, I mean, we're on my bass boat today. I have a John boat, 16-foot John boat. I take it out to our local watersheds. A lot of times we can find higher water levels there at the smaller lakes.
I think I got one.
Woo! No, you might have got away from you there.
I have. Missed it. Oh, we better stop talking because we're going to scare these fish away.
You know what? If we were in real shallow water, I might be concerned about it. But being out here in deeper water, I think we're all right to do a little talking. I don't think we'll disturb the fish. You know what? Sometimes I would consider it a myth, for sure.
Maybe that's just my papa, my daddy's way of getting me to be quiet when we were fishing.
I'd be willing to bet it.
Don't forget to comment on our video for a chance to win the canvas and paints to do the pumpkin painting with Miss G, to get a yoga mat with Miss Gallagher, or fishing lures so that you could go fishing like Mr. Fort.